नहीं चाहता, जिसके कारण उन्होंने ये युद्ध शुरू किया, पिछली बार भी जो किया। अस्तित्व का खतरा, जमीन का खतरा
सर,
नहीं।
मैं लौटूंगा आपको, आज इस विषय पर बातचीत करेंगे। और इस बीच जो तस्वीरें हैं वो निकलकर सामने आ रही हैं लोकसभा से, जहां मिडिल ईस्ट के तनाव को लेकर विदेश मंत्री एस जयशंकर क्या कुछ कह रहे हैं, सुनिए।
and the subsequent attacks in several Gulf countries. The CCS was concerned over the safety and security of the Indian community in the region. It also focused on the implications for regional security and for economic and commercial activities. The committee was apprised of difficulties faced by Indian travelers transiting the region and by students appearing for scheduled examinations in this country. It directed all concerned ministries and departments to take appropriate measures to respond to these problems. Honorable Prime Minister continues to closely monitor developments, emerging developments, and relevant ministries are coordinating to ensure effective responses. Chairman, sir, the conflict has continued to intensify and the security situation in the region has deteriorated significantly. We have noted that in fact the conflict has spread to other nations with mounting destruction and deaths. Normal life and economic activities in the entire region are visibly affected and in some cases have come to a halt. We therefore reiterated our call on 3 March for dialogue and diplomacy and spoke up for an early end to the conflict. I am confident, sir, that the entire House joins me in expressing our sorrow at the loss of life. Confident, sir, that the entire House joins me in expressing our sorrow at the loss of life. Honorable Chairman, sir, while any development that negatively impacts peace and security in the world is deeply troubling, this ongoing conflict is an issue of particular concern for India. We are a neighboring region and understandably have obvious stakes in West Asia remaining stable and peaceful. There are almost 1 crore Indian citizens who live and work in the Gulf nations. In Iran too, there are a few thousand Indians who are there for study and employment. The region is key to our energy security and includes many important suppliers of oil and gas. Chairman, sir, the Gulf is also a major trade partner, accounting for US dollars.
आप लोगों से आग्रह है कि जो सवाल आप उठा रहे हैं उसी सवाल का जवाब सरकार की तरफ से विदेश मंत्री जी दे रहे हैं। अगर आपकी चिंता है कि भारत के लोग गल्फ में हैं, भारत के लोग ईरान में हैं, मिडिल ईस्ट में हैं, तो क्या कार्रवाई सरकार कर रही, आप क्या परिचय दे रहे हैं? अगर सरकार की तरफ से आपके उस चिंता का स्टेटमेंट आ रहा है, आपके इशूज पे स्टेटमेंट आ रहा है, तो मैं आग्रह करूंगा कि आप लोग सदन को कृपया सुचारू रूप से चलने दें। आप सुनिए, माननीय विदेश मंत्री जी जो आप सवाल को उठाना चाहते हैं उसका जवाब दे रहे हैं, स्टेटमेंट दे रहे हैं। आप सुनना नहीं चाहते, पहले से प्ले कार्ड लेके आए हैं। ये प्ले कार्ड लेके क्यों आए? कई बार अध्यक्ष जी ने कहा प्ले कार्ड लेकर के सदन में नहीं आया जा सकता, फिर भी आप तैयारी के साथ कि सदन को नहीं चलने देना। माननीय विदेश मंत्री।
Chairman, sir, the Gulf is also a major trade partner, accounting for US dollars 200 billion almost annually of trade. The House is also aware that in the last decade there have been significant investments from the region into the Indian economy. Therefore, the serious supply chain disruptions and climate of instability that we perceive are indeed serious issues. Furthermore, these include attacks on merchant shipping where Indian nationals often constitute a large proportion of the crews. We have sadly already lost 2 Indian mariners and 1 remains missing in such incidents. I know, sir, that the House joins me in condoling the deaths. Honorable Chairman, sir, government has been assessing the situation in West Asia continuously since the 12-day war in June 2025. We noted the indications of growing tension and cautioned the Indian community in Iran accordingly. On 5 January, Indian nationals were advised by the Ministry of External Affairs to avoid non-essential travel to Iran. Those already resident there were urged to register with the embassy, exercise due caution, and monitor embassy website and social media handles. A second advisory was issued on 14 January, reiterating the advice to avoid travel in even stronger. The Directorate General of Shipping Mumbai, in parallel, issued its own advisory on 14 January for Indian seafarers, asking them to follow embassy advisories and avoid unnecessary movement of ships. Recruitment and shipping companies were asked not to deploy or send Indian seafarers to Iran. Chairman, sir, reflecting our assessment of the evolving situation, the Indian Embassy in Tehran issued an advisory on 14 February urging Indian nationals, including students, pilgrims, business persons and tourists, to leave Iran by all available means of transport, including commercial flights. They were asked to contact the embassy for any assistance and provided with 24/7 helplines. This was again reiterated in very strong terms through another advisory on 23 February. Some heeded these advisories and have left the country. However, many others have disregarded them and remain in Iran. We are also in touch with fishermen who operate out of Iran. This, sir, was the situation till 28 February 2026. Honorable Chairman, sir, once the conflict commenced, the Indian Embassy has facilitated the relocation of several Indian students in Tehran to places outside Tehran. An advisory update with emergency contact helplines was issued on 3 March. Similarly, facilitation was extended to pilgrims who were there in Iran for their internal movement. Indian nationals who were in Iran for business purposes were assisted to cross over to Armenia and to return home. The embassy in Tehran remains fully operational, I should say, in fact.
तो विदेश मंत्री एस जयशंकर को सुन रहे थे आप मिडिल ईस्ट के हालातों को लेकर। वो सदन में